Hello, this is Ira Whiteside, and I would like to take you through the steps of taking some of the materials I've presented over the last couple of years at various SQL Saturdays and PASS and SQL rallies and show you how to implement a Metadata Mart within the HaloSource product. So first, let's talk a brief little overview of the value of a Metadata Mart and data profiling. We're going to start by looking at a simple example here. We've got some customer data, and as you can see, I've got 3 columns highlighted. We've got a kind of a standard set of profiling statistics here, which will be available within the HaloSource product, internally as well as externally. If we take a look at state, we can see that right off the bat we've got a distinct domain count of 24. Looks like we've got a most popular domain of California, of which that's 15. We have a minimum domain of blank and a maximum domain of WA1, and we actually know that WA1 is not valid. If we were to look a little further, in this case, knowing we wanted to only have 2 column states, we could kind of scroll over here to the right, and we could take a look at the distinct pattern count for state and see that we've got 5 pattern counts, which is going to be a problem. We do know that our most popular pattern is 2 columns. That's helpful, but nonetheless does indicate that there are errors in other columns. Moving along, that we can see for zip code, we've got a minimum value of 1876. That's going to be a problem. A 5 maximum value of 9099755. So again, issues here in terms of which numbers and which problems and which patterns that we have. We can take a look at phone numbers. We can see that we again have a minimum value here with a parens in it, not enough phone digits, a maximum value. We can kind of scroll over here again just to get a peek for phone number and see that in the case of phone number, we've got 12 patterns, with the most popular being the pattern that we would expect it to be. So contextually and right off at the top, we could use column statistics profiling here to give us a high-level idea of what's going on. But for our 3 columns here, state, zip, and phone, if we wanted to take a bit of a deeper dive, we'll be able to use something called domain analysis, and we're going to walk through the process of how that's created within HaloSource briefly. Let's just take a look. So we've got state, zip, and phone. If we were to take a look at state and drill into it, we could see that, well, all right, we've actually got multiple patterns. The X's indicates alpha characters, the 9s indicate numerics, and special characters represent themselves. So we've got blank, we've got a single character with a $sign, as we can see right here. We've got 2 characters with a 9, a numeric, and then we've certainly got alpha 3s. We can actually drill into these and say, well, all right, CA1, MN1, WA1 are obviously not states, so that's going to have to be a rule that we're going to have to account for. We could take care of this, obviously, in the case of address information with data cleansing software. The same could be the case for zip, where again we can see we've got multiple patterns. And with phone number, we could use either validation for phone or regex expressions to be able to cleanse and clarify the phone patterns that you see here. So within Halo, we'll have an additional demo where we'll be showing you these kinds of capabilities using our Prism visualization product, which will in essence allow users, developers, clients to collaborate all along the way in the creation of their analytical or BI application. So with that in mind, what we're going to do now is take a quick walk through that process. If we look at the process here, first there is an existing set of code for the session creating a Metadata Mart with SSIS, data governance, data profiling. That code exists in several places. Past SQL Rally presented it along with Aaron Zorns as part of metadata management seminars for information management. I presented it at SQL Saturdays where there are code downloads available. And I have an extensive video detailing the use on the past virtual chapter site here, as you can see, where there is an hour-long video, which was well received. Given that, to walk through the technical implementations, it's simply a matter of downloading that code, and I will show you here. There are a series of stored procedures, easy to get to, and let me just take a look. I'll show you a quick sample. And oops, 1 second, wrong directory. Right in here. That's the right directory. Within that zip file, you have got a set of queries. I'm sorry. There are 7 queries, starting with 0 through 6. If you run these queries in order, they would have to be run through SQL Management Studio at this point. There are filters in here if you want to limit it to tables. If not, these queries will profile everything that was in your Halo staging or Halo source database. And there is ample information on how the queries work in other videos. Given that we run those queries, we would then have created a set of tables that are needed with our profiling information. If we move to the Halo application itself, we're going to take a quick look. We've got a template project here, which is available upon request. I'll provide my contact information at the end. And that involves really simply walking through this project. There is no other work that's necessary to do other than modifying the connections here, which you would obviously be modifying to connect to your server and your database. Beyond that, given that you have kept and left the table names and the queries the same, you'd have 2 packages that you would run to extract and create the tables. Additional tables in the Halo staging area of your choice. There are several dimensions that are created to support the kinds of hierarchies that we discussed. If we take a look at these, we have several dimensions for domain schema, domain column pattern. These dimensions support the drill downs that we saw in our little Excel pivot table demo: column name, pattern name, and domain name. And of course, we do create 2 cubes. Lastly, if we take a quick look inside of SQL Management Studio, we can see here that we do have, we are browsing the cube here. We've got a cube that has got domain counts and has got all of the information in it that we would have seen or used in our little Excel demo. In terms of information, there are 2 cubes here. There's a pattern cube, which allows you to do the kind of drilling that we've talked about in our previous example. If we drop these off over here, we can see that if we take our drill hierarchy here, that's going to let us examine pattern and column information. We indeed can drill into that. We can see blank states, and we can see the states that exist. In addition, we have another cube that's available, and these will be available through the Prism tool. That allows us to look at the statistical information: blank counts, domain counts, null domain counts, and the like. So again, a very straightforward process. We'll be following this up with a video describing to you exactly how to go about accessing this and using it within your Prism environment.